overall. So that's the main reason to keep everyone muted.
Okay, thanks, Aaron. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Renee Elizabeth Fredo. I am your community account manager from Breezeline. And I want to just go over with you at this town hall, you know, what we're going to be offering to you as your new cable provider, internet provider through your HOA. And I'm going to go ahead. If you could just hold all the questions till the end of the presentation, and then we'll get to them. Thanks so much. So we are Breezeline. We, as you can see, okay.
Apologies about that. I just turned on recording.
Okay, that's all right. So we're Breezeline. Atlantic Broadband is now Breezeline. And as you see on your HOA website, it says ABB. So we're still Atlantic Broadband. We're now Breezeline. We're still determined to deliver fast, dependable internet, television, and phone services with amazing local support. And we're making it easier than ever to keep you connected and entertained. Our new name better describes our company and our mission. Most of all, our new name is our continued commitment to you that we'll work hard every day to deliver the experience that you deserve. And there's more to come. We look forward to all we'll do in the new year and everything that we will deliver ahead. We promised to deliver on our name. Okay, so this is just your, you know, your property address for the clubhouse, which is, I will discuss later on where we're going to be having our on-site sign-ups that will be taking place at your clubhouse at 7820 North Tree Drive. Here are the contracted services that will be part of your HOA. You will be getting your More TV package with over 300 channels, including local broadcast and your favorite cable channels, including high definition. You'll be getting HBO premium movie channels, yay. One TiVo high definition digital video recorder, that's a DVR, and 2 high definition digital receivers as well. You'll be getting select fiber 1000 high-speed internet service with home Wi-Fi that includes your equipment, 1 wireless gateway modem, and of course wire maintenance, meaning your service calls are, there's no charge for your service calls. Our world-class VIP service, you have your dedicated US-based 24/7, 365-day concierge VIP support team. We're constantly investing in technology to improve customers' experience via our automated phone system and self-support. Local account management and service teams, as myself, worry-free service calls and support with wire maintenance. We maintain the best-in-class appointment scheduling for our select communities only. In addition to that, we've got the 24/7, 365-day US-based Network Operations Center, essentially our NOC, which constantly monitors the network health for outages and any planned system reliability maintenance activity. Our select communities notifications and priority outage restoration. You also have your customer management that you can manage your account online. This shows the 3 phases that we are at from since when you first signed back in August. We are currently now in phase 2. We're doing the on-site work and we're testing our world-class products, the design, the engineering, the full end-to-end system testing. We're actually between phase 2 and 3 because I will be sharing with you your launch letter which will be shared electronically, and then we will be giving it out on site at the signups, and also it will be sent out in hard copy via mail. That's more to come later on in the presentation. A resident onboarding. Breezeline delivers first in-class customer experiences through resident onboarding. Below is since August 25th. This shows you the timeline of what to expect in the next 3 months from the minute that the agreement was signed up until the next 3 months. So we had the kickoff meeting with your property manager and the board members, the community account manager introduction, that would be me. The network build has begun. The launch letter notification outlining your installation and scheduling details. Again, that will be shared electronically and via the mail and in person on site. The on-site sign-up events, which we will discuss later on in the presentation, which will be next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Customer experience surveys that are post on-site sign-up event. We send out a survey. We are very customer focused and customer oriented. We send out these surveys after the sign-up event just to kind of get feedback from you and see what your take was, and some things that you might have been happy with and some things that we may have missed. We're constantly working towards improving. The mass installation start completion. The mass installations for the services is slated to start May 2nd. After that, we're going to have a customer experience survey post mass installation. After you have your services installed, again, we'll send out a survey just to see how your experience was. Later on after that, to get a little more familiar with the equipment, I will be facilitating customer education events. The sign-up process, which I keep talking about throughout this presentation. So your sign-up process, you can contact our customer care team starting tomorrow at the telephone number 855-363-7874. Your on-site sign-up event, which is taking place, as I said, Tuesday, April 12th, Wednesday, April 13th, and Thursday, April 15th, from 11 to 2 p.m. and 3 to 6 p.m. at your North Tree Clubhouse. Just to let you know, you can choose to call in to schedule your installation appointment, or we'd love to see you, that you come by the clubhouse and we can have you sit with one of our representatives that'll go over the services, what you are being offered, and anything additional that you may want. I do want to assure you actually, that both ways, calling in and coming in person, you will still get the one-on-one experience. In order to make this easier seamless with our on-site sign-up event, we will have a pre-registration. You can go to Facebook or your HOA website, or you can email your management company directly, and there'll be a link that you can access to pre-register. I know that this is mostly, this isn't really a seasonal community, but just in case, I'm still going to go over the snowbird sign-up process. TV and or internet service only, no Comcast phone service. So those residents who are currently only TV and or internet customers, that is, they're not users of Comcast phone service, they should return their Comcast equipment and cancel services prior to leaving for the season. Do not sign up with Comcast for the seasonal rate. For more information on your Comcast equipment return options, you can visit the hyperlink from Xfinity/support below. Residents with Comcast phone service. Those residents who have Comcast phone service and wish to bring their home phone number to Breezeline so that they can keep their existing number and that it remains unchanged, must keep their phone service and or the associated phone equipment and place it in seasonal suspend mode until they return and have their Breezeline services installed. They can return their non-phone equipment, as in your television, for example, and cancel those services prior to leaving for the season. Snowbirds returning after June 1st, 2022, at least 2 weeks before you return to North Tree, residents, snowbirds should call Breezeline customer care at the number below, 888-536-9600, to schedule the installation of Breezeline services. Residents with your Comcast email. As a former Xfinity customer, you can still use your Comcast.net address. If you log into your account within the 90 days prior to disconnecting your service, your email account will remain active as long as you access it at least once every 9 months. Just like your primary email account, your secondary email accounts must also be accessed in the 90 days prior to your disconnecting service in order to continue to use your Comcast email account. If Comcast.net accounts are accessed, you can continue to use all of your Comcast email addresses as usual. And for more information as well, again, the Xfinity hyperlink below. Snowbirds requesting to complete an authorization form that will be supplied at a later date. I can send that, and I will send that to your HOA and your management company. If a resident wishes to assign an individual to represent them during the sign-up event and installation of their Breezeline services due to the fact that they can't be there, this form will be provided, as I said, with the instructions how to complete by your management company. Here's an example of the authorization form. Marketing communications overview. We're going to use several multi-touch onboarding communication strategies. The first one is the introduction letter, the launch letter, which will be shared with you. It's the initial communication to introduce our residents to Breezeline and describe services that they will receive. It will have FAQs included with the letter communications to answer questions residents may have regarding installation, seasonality, etc. It also has the COVID safety measures included within this letter communication to assure our residents of the risk mitigation practices in place during these service installations. Touch point 2, we're here, virtual town hall. Your Zoom virtual conference that I am now presenting to inform all of our wonderful residents of the upcoming service installations, explain your new services, and answer any questions after the presentation. Touch point 3, your service installation. You will receive a welcome kit and a My Services packets will be provided by your technicians at your installation appointments detailing how to use your new equipment and services. And here are some examples of the marketing strategy that we use. This is the launch letter, the FAQs, and the COVID safety measures. Here's additional. We also send the postcard depicted here. Non-responder letter. So we follow up with residents who have not scheduled their installation appointments, sent 2 to 3 weeks after the installations begin. Community platforms. If your community has a printed or electronic newsletter, Breezeline can supply content to include such articles on different products and services, frequently asked questions, and advertisements. You will be getting 2 community channels. So if the community has a community channel, we will supply the content to run on the channel, including the customer education and service options. If you have a website, which you have a wonderful website, I visited it, Breezeline can supply assets as well to feature on that page. And now we'll just go over the FAQs, some questions here. And Melissa, are you there? Okay, so frequently asked questions. Will we be issued voice-activated remote controls? Yes, the TiVo HD DVR and the TiVo receivers will have a voice-activated remote control. Can I watch my recordings from the TiVo HD DVR on the TiVo
Yeah, I
receiver?
was muted.
You there?
I am. Aaron just unmuted me.
Oh, okay. Erin, you had her muted. Well,
Yeah,
I'll just
apologies.
finish-
I have everyone muted, so my mistake. But I've made her a co-host as well, so she can unmute herself in the future.
Okay. Well,
Good evening, everyone.
Go ahead, Melissa.
Okay, good evening. I'm Melissa Krupin. I'm a customer operations manager. I'm just going to go ahead and run through our frequently asked questions and then help facilitate the additional questions from you, the residents, should you have them after we get through these. So will we be issued a voice activated remote? Yes, the TiVo HD DVR and the TiVo receivers that you'll be receiving will all have a voice activated remote control. Can I watch my recordings from the TiVo HD DVR on the TiVo receivers? So the answer to that is yes. All of the TiVo devices communicate with each other, and you can schedule and watch your recordings on any device. Renee, you're going to have to change the slides.
I'm trying to. Okay, there you go.
Okay. How much would telephone service cost per month? Does it include caller ID and call waiting? So our current retail rate is $19.99 a month plus taxes. That is for unlimited local and long distance. So that's throughout the US and Canada. Caller ID, call waiting, and other popular features are included. Also included is voicemail. Can I keep my existing phone number? So yes, in most cases, you can port your existing phone number. So if you choose to take Breezeline home phone service, when you sign up for your services, you can let the agent know and they'll be able to begin that port process for you. What is the internet upload download speeds that are included in the bulk package? The bulk package includes our Select Fiber 1000 service, which is up to 1,000 megabits or 1 gig download by 600 megabits upload. If I cancel my internet service with Comcast, can I still use my existing Comcast.net email address? So that was covered, yes. As a former Xfinity customer, you can still use your Comcast.net email address. As long as you log into your account in the 90 days prior to disconnecting your service, your email accounts will remain active as long as you access them at least once every 9 months. Next. Will you have something comparable to Xfinity On Demand? So we do. We have video on demand, plus you'll have comprised of approximately 40,000 hours of content. Most of it's free. You'll also have access to YouTube. For your Netflix or Amazon Prime, you can access those as well through the box. How much would it cost if I need additional TiVo receivers? So the bulk package comes with 1 TiVo HD DVR and 2 TiVo receivers. So that's service on up to 3 TVs. Additional TiVo receivers are available at the retail rate of $4.99 per month. Are you going in each home or in each house to check the cables to make sure that they are in order and working well? So of course, yes, everyone will need to be home at the time of your scheduled installation. At that time, we will complete a home integrity check on each install, certifying each outlet to our specification. In the event that an outlet does not meet our specifications or there's a wiring issue, we will run a new drop or outlet, and that will be run post-wired. How long does the installation take? So installations can take approximately 2 to 3 hours. This includes the installation and customer ed on the new products and services. So those are the FAQs that we had kind of assigned here for this meeting. Hopefully we answered most of your questions, but at this time, we can go ahead and open it up to questions from the residents. Aaron, I don't know if you want to unmute, how you want to handle the Q&A.
Yeah, so if you could just use the reactions option and go raise hand. I do see one hand raised right now, so I'll go ahead and ask you to unmute, and anyone else, please feel free to just raise your hand. Okay, Brina, go ahead. Apologies if I mispronounced your name.
That's okay. This is Brian. What happens if you have a TiVo already, and can you get a card to use the TiVo I have?
Yes, so you can use if you have a retail TiVo, you can go ahead and get a cable card to utilize that device. However, it will not communicate with the other TiVos in the home. So it will be independent.
Okay, at least it will work. Thank you.
It will work.
Okay, any other questions, Brina?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, I'm gonna just go down the list here, no particular order, so no one take offense. Let's see here. Colleen?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. So one of the selling points of this was the gig speed internet. And I spoke to one of the gentlemen who were doing the installations. And apparently your wireless gateway will go inside the house and it will talk to the boxes and provide the internet. But you're not going to get gig speed over Wi-Fi.
Well,
Also,
I mean,
also in my case, I need a hardwired connection into my desktop. So I need the gateway to be located in the office in my house.
okay. So yeah, so with the gig speed, we do, guaranteed speeds up to 1 gig hard line directly into the modem. Obviously, over Wi-Fi speeds may vary, as well as certain devices within your home. If you have, an older computer, or even, an old iPhone of some sort, it may not be capable of getting 1 gig speeds. So if you need to have your the modem or the gateway, in the location of your home office, wherever your computer is set up to hardline, they can go ahead, and when the installer comes out there, you can have that conversation as to where you want it installed.
Okay.
So, and just to touch on that a little bit more, the technology that these gateways have is currently Wi-Fi 5. Wi-Fi 5 is not capable, as you mentioned, of gig speed. However, we do have at or after, I think it's after the 4-year mark, so at the start of the 5th year, a technology rider on our contract. So they will potentially replace that gateway with a Wi-Fi 6 capable gateway, or whatever the current technology is at that time. And by definition of current technology is current technology that they are using for new installs at other locations. As you mentioned, the only way to truly get 1 gig speed is hardwired. Additionally, that gateway can be located anywhere in your house where you currently have a coax connection, because that coax connection is what's going to feed the television service throughout the rest of your house.
That was my next question. I know that you can convert fiber to coax, and I was assuming that you basically would just hook up to the Comcast feed that goes into the house and feeds all the outlets in the house. Is that the case?
Yes and no. The way that works is they're actually going to pull an actual fiber directly from outside all the way directly into this gateway device. They are then going to, out of the gateway device, they are going to hook it up to coax. So this gateway device is like a mini television provider that will power all of the TVs in the house, specifically all of the TiVos in the house.
All right. Well, it will provide, do the TiVos, but then it would also feed the outlets, as I mentioned before, that are currently used for TVs, boxes, what have you. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Okay. And your gateway also provides Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Okay.
Any additional questions?
No, I think those are the major concerns I had, is having it compatible with the setup I have, which requires hardwired connection.
Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and throw you on mute and move on to the next person. If you do have another question, just raise your hand again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to Ellen.
Oh, okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Ellen.
Okay, I understood somewhat what you just discussed, but I have AT&T wireless for phone and for internet. And when they did the work on my house, they actually cut a cable. They tried to fix it, not so well. And how is that going to impact if I want to keep it or change it?
So when you say you're saying that you have Comcast or AT&T wireless devices?
I pay a separate service to AT&T for my phone and my wireless.
Okay,
So phone and internet is what I take that to mean then.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
so you can keep your phone and internet with AT&T. I mean, essentially, you are going to be, paying twice. The bulk package in your HOA does include internet, but if you want to continue to pay AT&T for your internet service, you certainly have that, the ability to do so.
Well, what if I don't want it? You mentioned something earlier about snowbirds, but I need to keep my email addresses with the att.net.
So just as we mentioned with Xfinity, if you're a Comcast user for your internet, the same applies with your AT&T service. So you will still have access to your AT&T email address, even if you're not an AT&T subscriber.
All right, but now what about the phone?
Your home phone service, if you want to switch that over to Breezeline, like I said, that was $19.99 a month, and you can go ahead and port your AT&T phone over to us as well.
So in other words, both services are part of the included in the maintenance, plus it's $19.99 a month. That's it.
No,
Plus
so
taxes.
so TV and internet are included in the bulk package. Home phone service, which we do provide, is available to you to subscribe to, and it's $19.99 per month.
Okay, so the internet, I want to just make sure I have this. The internet and the television, TV stuff is included. For $19.99, we're now adding just the telephone.
That's correct.
And okay, now I have one final question, and I don't know if this is the right place. What about damage was done to my driveway after I had it just repaired, and somebody took pictures and no one got back to me? Is this going to be part of this, or somebody else gets back to me?
Yeah, all of that sort of work is handled by the construction, which is part of Breezeline. Melissa and Renee can have information on that. But what I can tell you is the same message Charlie has delivered to everyone. First thing they're going to do is the construction they are here to do. As soon as they're done and they're not going to be creating any more chaos, then they will take care of any and all damage that they created.
Okay, that's
if
okay.
someone has come out and already looked at your driveway and already said, hey, yes, we acknowledge we did that, and yes, we acknowledge we'll fix your driveway, it's coming. I would look to hear something back after June 1st on that. And if you have any additional questions, you can reach out to the management company, Brian, or myself directly, and we'd be happy to help you with that.
Okay.
Any additional questions, Ellen?
No, not right now.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and throw you on mute and move on to the next person. If you have another question, just raise your hand. Thank you. Okay, moving on to Mitch and Amy Goldberg. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. Question about Wi-Fi extenders.
Okay.
I mean, I know you don't know the layout of these homes, but have you seen that homes these size need them? And if so, do you guys provide them?
So yes, yes and no. So yes, I have actually seen some of the layout of the home, believe it or not. I don't know. My brother actually is a resident there at North Tree. So I am familiar with the property. But So in some instances, Wi-Fi extenders may be needed. I don't know if they're all 2-story, but if
They're not, some are one
Okay.
story. And I have AT&T internet now, and I have a couple of Wi-Fi extenders with that gateway, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah, and you may want to look to get that with our service as well for the same reason, just to make sure that you get the right coverage throughout the home. So we do provide them. It's our Wi-Fi Your Way, which is powered by Plume Home Pass, and it is $14.99 a month. Or if you have your own, mesh network or Wi-Fi extenders, you can utilize those as well. You can just connect to our device.
You won't provide extenders that you pay a one-time fee for.
No, we the extenders that we have, like I said, is the Wi-Fi Your Way. Not only does it provide the Wi-Fi coverage, but it does also give you added security. You can actually, if you have children in the home, maybe you want to limit their Wi-Fi, you can actually shut off devices that aren't being used or you don't want them to use it.
I don't need that.
Okay.
Yeah, there are several mesh devices out there you could purchase as well and kind of set up behind their equipment.
Okay.
There's Eero is one product
Mhm.
that's around, I think, $200.
Can
There's
you-
also Google.
Can you use just like regular, like the ones that AT&T are using, those extenders will work with your gateway?
They should. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what, which extenders, and usually most extenders you can plug in directly to behind our gate.
Fine, and
Yeah,
I'll talk to the installer when it comes.
Yeah, I would also just offer a suggestion and an opinion. I have been involved in a lot of this technology for the majority of my professional life. And in my opinion, there are very, very few homes here that actually need any of that technology. The big thing is it's all about placement of the equipment. If you imagine Wi-Fi to be very much like a speaker playing music, if you put that speaker in a corner of your home, you're not going to be able to hear that in the other corner of your home. But if you put that speaker right in the middle of your home, you'll hear it much better throughout
And
the
I
entire
agree
house.
with that because AT&T put in the gateway in my living room, and then you go all the way to the front bedroom and you can't get it. So when I have the breezeway done, I'm going to have them put it in a more central location.
Right, that would help you tremendously. And again, it does need to be located relatively near a coax connection.
Right, I have one. Yeah, where I'm
Perfect.
anticipating. Right.
And Melissa, Renee, can these installers run additional coax if needed? I believe that would be for a fee, but the question is, can they do that?
They can run it. If they do, it is run post-wired. So it would be run, along the baseboard or, molding, obviously as inconspicuous as we can. If you wish to have, the cable run through the walls or attic, obviously we won't cut holes in your wall, but if we can get it through the attic or some sort of a crawl space, they will do that as well. That would be a custom installation and there would be a charge for that. And the installer would be able to go through that with you.
Gotcha. As far as the meetings that are in the clubhouse, you just show up, you have to schedule like a time to go, or you can just show up at one of those times?
Yeah, I do have a form. I'll post that form to Facebook, to our website, and the management company will be able to email it to everyone. Give me, maybe until tomorrow morning, but I'll probably have it done tonight. That form is just kind of pre-registration. It gets a lot of the boilerplate stuff out of the way.
Perfect, fine. Okay, and then my one more question is, on the gateways that you're providing, are there plugins for Ethernet on the back of that?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Another side question that has come up, I've actually been one of the people who have asked the question, can you do bridged mode on the gateways? The answer I was provided was yes, but it is actually a different gateway, and so you need to let them know ahead of time.
Yes, and Aaron, I believe I have some additional information regarding that. So the modem, the gateway, the Calyx, I think it's an E54 that we'll be installing, does not allow you to do bridge mode. The other model, Calyx, that we offer that does, I have to confirm because that may only provide data. It may not provide video.
Okay.
So
yeah, any insight on that? If it needs to be a hybrid setup with two or whatever the case is, please let me know.
Yep.
Aaron, thanks for that info, but I have no clue what that is, but thank you. Thanks,
That's
thanks,
for
guys. I
the
appreciate your
nerds in the
time.
room, to put it nicely.
Yeah.
That's kind of the easiest way to put it. That's for the nerds in the room.
And
Okay,
then-
thanks, everybody.
And then
Thank
also
you.
just, obviously I know everyone has busy schedules and, things that they need to do day to day. So obviously we would love to see you at our on-site event. However, if you can't make it, if none of the times work or the days, happen to don't work for your schedule, you can always give us a call through the onboarding telephone number, which is also here on the screen, the 855-363-7874. You can speak to one of our agents right on the phone. They will be able to kind of go over the same services. They are going to be intimately familiar with the products and services that are going to be available to you. And you can go ahead and schedule your installation that way as well. But either way.
I was just going to say, if you don't have a pen handy, don't worry about it. All this information will be on Facebook, on our website. The management company will have it. So if you don't have an opportunity wherever you are to write any of this information down, don't worry about it. It'll be reposted after this meeting.
Okay. You'll also get it in your mailbox.
And it's
Yes.
gonna be, it's tomorrow. You can start calling that 1-800 number that we have up there.
All right, I'm going to move on to the next individual, G&E Bailey. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi, can you
Hello.
hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. My name is Eileen.
Hello.
And I have
Hi.
a very simple question to start with. I have two, but the first one is very simple. When you talk about the DVR and the 2 HD receivers, that's going to take care of my first 3 TVs, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, that was an easy one.
Yeah.
Okay. We have 4 devices in the house that we like to direct connect. We don't want to run through Wi-Fi. So the question is, I heard from people that talked a few moments ago that there were connections on the back of the Ethernet. I want to know how many.
If you give me a moment, I can believe I have that handy.
Okay, so just picture like right now in our home office, I have a laptop, I have a desktop, I have another computer for our security system, and then I have a fourth one for our captioning phone, which runs off the internet. Internet.
So let me just ask you,
believe
how do you have that hooked up now with Comcast? Do you have all that going into
We
a
don't-
router
we
that
do
you
not.
purchased yourself?
No, we are with AT&T for our phones as well as our internet.
Okay, and you're plugging all 4 of those computers directly into the AT&T equipment?
Correct.
Okay. One way, and I'm just presenting one way, that you could hook that up is to, go down to Best Buy or whatever and purchase any of the routers that they have on the shelf there. I will caution you, and I will caution everyone on the call, the cheaper routers you get from there will be your bottleneck in achieving 1 gig speeds. Older devices, cheaper devices won't have the capability to go to that higher speed.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I don't intend to stay with AT&T. So I'm asking.
I understand that. What I'm referring to is, and Melissa will offer some opinion on how many ports are on the back of that device, but one option for you is to put that stuff behind another piece of equipment, and then that other piece of equipment, which would be a Wi-Fi router you would purchase yourself, would have 1 cable that could plug into the Breezeline equipment. So I'm just presenting one way that you could hook that up.
And I believe there are 4 Ethernet ports on the back of the Calyx Giga Center.
Okay. You believe that or you know that?
I'm almost 100%. I'm
Almost.
99.9% sure there's 4 ports.
Okay. So if you picture our current connection, desktop on one side, laptop on the other, security system behind us, and then a telephone that's on the desk that runs VoIP off VoIP, because we're going to switch probably to your phone system and keep our existing phone number from AT&T that we've had for 100 years.
Mhm.
So then I shouldn't have to do the option that was just mentioned to me a minute ago. If you have 4 ports.
You shouldn't, but when the installer comes out there, they would be able to, best answer that, just to make, obviously make sure everything that can connect will connect directly to that gig.
And I hear you on that. And if I could get an installation tomorrow and find out that I don't have a problem, that's wonderful. But if I find out I have a problem, then that gives me another so many days before I disconnect from AT&T that we've been with since the 1960s.
Right. So just to make sure, I don't know, I'm sure we mentioned it, but the installations will begin on May 2nd. So we will not, obviously, Charlie and his crew are still out there building the network. So we will begin installations on May 2nd. Also, just to clarify, when we come out there and do your installation, that is when you, as a resident, will be on the Breezeline network. So although the bulk does not start until June 1st, in order to get all 355 residents converted over without any, seamless transition, without any interruption, we need to start the installation process ahead of time. But when we come out there, connect your service, you will essentially be on the Breezeline network.
Okay.
So one additional question for you. You have that, that's running over a telephone line right now, correct? An actual pair of twisted copper?
Twisted copper, probably, yeah. Our phone, or what we used to have as a landline, runs off our AT&T internet.
Okay, so just so you understand, they're going to install all of this equipment, and that's all great. It's up to you when you choose to uninstall your AT&T equipment and when you choose to cancel that. Okay. So, I hear some hesitation from you on wanting to just switch over. That's fine. You can, move it over, leave your AT&T hooked up for a couple of days and move it over to the new equipment and make sure everything works the way you want it to and you're good before you just cut off your old service.
Yeah, because there is a problem with having a deaf person in the house if you go without your captioning phone. So I hear you on that. So the installer is going to come in. We're going to call the new provider and say we're going to need a phone system, we're going to take the phone system, so that when the installer comes in, let's pretend it's May 15th and our cutover is June the 1st. So May 15th, they come in and the installer says, okay, so here's your computer, your laptop, your security system's up and running. You've opted to get the phone system also, so that would kick in right there, correct? Because we're going to tell them up front, we need the new phone system through the new provider, and let that all happen. And if something goes wrong, I technically still have my AT&T for another 15 days.
You do.
Are you porting your phone number? That's going to be the only thing that I would see as a problem. If you're porting your phone number is going to get moved over to the new service.
Have you done this before?
What's
Have
that?
you taken an AT&T internet, quotes, landline internet over to your system and ported the existing phone number and a captioning phone that runs off the OIP?
Yes, we do this all the time. So not only, for this property, any of the property, not even just our bulk properties, but all of our retail. So it's done daily. So I don't see that there will be any, issue porting your number, connecting it to the Calyx, as well as with your closed captioning device.
Okay, so the existing router, you're going to unplug us. Let's pretend our installation date is May 15th. You're going to take our existing router, you're going to put it into your new Ethernet box, and you say there's 4 ports, and our computer should go, because we're going to be on the new system May the 15th, right? Because that's what the installer is doing, even though the technical cutover is June 1st. Let's pretend again that we have a May 15th installation date. So you're going to do everything, and everything should come up so I know I'm comfortable that I don't have a deaf husband that's cut out from the world until we figure out what to happen.
Correct. So if we're out there and, nothing is, I know that everything will be working fine the day we come out there to do your install, but for whatever reason, there is an issue, nothing is working, then you obviously still have your AT&T service there, and we will be able to keep that service connected or reconnect it, and then just move the port if we needed to.
Okay. And tomorrow, the best number for me to call to make sure they understand that we're porting to your phone system. And I understand.
If I could, apologies, there are 7 people waiting. I would
understand.
suggest that you maybe come to one of the in-person
will.
sessions.
I will, but I got a
And,
deaf husband and I got to make this happen. So I got one quick question. What's the best number to call to make sure I can order the phone system up front? So when the installer arrives on whatever day.
Yeah, they're doing these in-person meetings April 12th, April 13th, and April 15th, and they're not even beginning installation until May 2nd.
Understood.
So my suggestion for you is to come to one of those in-person meetings, and they'll have more time to work with you one-on-one.
Will do, but up front, I want that phone number so my deaf husband's not cut out from the rope. What's the best?
The phone number is 855-363-7874.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you with your patience.
Thank you. I'm going to move on to the next person. Thank you. Okay, so Daryl Widmeyer.
Okay, am I on?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, to avoid any lapse of service, I have Comcast. I assume when the installers come in, they're going to disconnect the Comcast service when they start installing the Breezeline service. Is that correct?
Correct. Once they come in, they start working on the wiring. They will need to disconnect your service and move it over to the Breezeline service. So there will be just a brief interruption of service when they make that switch.
If I want to keep Comcast just as a insurance to make sure everything is okay with the new service, will Comcast run alongside of Breezeline, or do they have to be? Does Comcast have to be completely disconnected for Breezeline to work?
Well, the only concern is the inside wiring. So like Aaron had mentioned earlier, is when we come in, we are going to be running that direct fiber into the back of the modem, but then we will be connecting into that inside wiring within your home. So unless you're going to run additional wiring, that would be the only way that you can maintain both services.
Okay, so basically, there really isn't a viable option for running both services at the same time, correct?
No, unless you
Daryl, my suggestion is, you would need special equipment even behind that to kind of run both services without it causing any issues.
Mm-hmm.
My suggestion is reach out to me through Facebook or offline or whatever the case is, and I can come by your house, no charge or anything of that nature, and explain to you how I would set that up.
Okay.
I do work from home. My wife works from home. We have we need some form of high reliability. So I will be setting that up myself and can share some insights on how to do that.
Okay, so then I should probably not cancel Comcast until the Breezeline installation is complete. Say the next.
Let me be clear for everyone.
Yes.
Don't do anything to Comcast until Breezeline is complete.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's across the board for everyone on this call and everyone in the community. Don't go making changes on Comcast today. Wait until you've actually got your service installed.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And apologies, Melissa, you were about to add to that?
No, I was going to say the same statement. I was going to say, do not disconnect your Comcast or your AT&T services until your Breezeline services are installed and working, because again, you do not want to have any interruption of service.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next person here. Apologies, it just says Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I don't really know who you are, so if you could introduce yourself and then ask your question.
This is Diana Toy. I'm sorry, I didn't know it didn't bring my name up. My question is that I work from home. And so I just heard that it's going to be they're going to come in and make a brief disconnect, and then I'd be connected. But I'm going to need to know for work how to report off. Plus I'll need to be able to get the IP address almost instantly so that they can reconnect me to our servers.
So we can, We do work on Saturdays, so, I'm not sure the type of work that you do. So if you do work Monday through Friday, you can go ahead and schedule a Saturday installation. You can schedule the latter part of, it is a time frame, so it's usually a 2-hour window.
That's fine. I didn't know you did it on Saturday, so that takes that away from me. One
Okay.
last other question with the TiVo DVR. Is it cloud oriented or is it device stored?
Right now it is device storage. It's a 1 terabyte hard drive. You can record up to 6 programs at the same time, and it does hold over 1,000 hours of programming.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm going to move on to the next person, Joe Driscoll. Give me just a second here. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay. Is there a data cap on the internet?
No data caps.
And do you guys have speeds over 1 gig? Because right now I have 1200.
Right now, 1 gig is the fastest that we offer as of
Okay.
today.
And all the boxes will be HD boxes for the TV?
That's correct.
And the 4th box I would need, $499, that'd be HD also?
Yes.
And do you guys have all the apps like Xfinity has, like to watch Netflix and
Yeah,
Disney
the
and all that
Netflix,
made into the box?
YouTube, Prime, there's a whole slew of apps. So yes. And then if you do have, Apple TV or Fire Stick, you will still have access to all of that as well. The
Okay.
same like you do today.
And then the last question, you were saying about the wiring in the house. So if wiring needs to be replaced in the house that's running in the wall right now, so that won't get fixed, that'll have to be additional or custom?
Yeah, no. To be
It
clear,
will, but it'll be run post-wired.
Right, if I wanted to stay in the wall the way it is, that wouldn't be done.
yeah, existing wiring is covered under the wiring maintenance. If I understand it correctly, please keep me honest. But existing wiring that you already have is covered. It's
Okay.
making changes to that existing wiring that would incur additional cost. Is that correct?
Okay.
Yes, we do. The wire maintenance does cover that wiring. However, if it is inside the wall, we are not going to drill holes in the wall. We would, run new wiring, but it would be run post-wired unless, of course, there's, some type of access, whether crawl space or attic,
Okay,
or be
Yeah,
able to run directly through that wall plate.
okay. All right. And all the cable boxes are coaxial boxes. They're not Wi-Fi boxes, right?
That's correct. At this time, they're all hardlined.
Okay, great.
To be clear on that, from what I've understood, and please keep me honest, they use the coax only to access live TV and the DVR shows. They then use wireless to access those streaming services.
Correct. But all the boxes are hardlined. So they're not a wireless box.
Correct.
Okay.
So in other words, like a box that's at the front of my house, if we want to watch Netflix, it has to be able to get Wi-Fi on it for it to work?
It will get Wi-Fi through the box. Your TV does not need to be a smart TV.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you. Hey, Aaron, could I get a way to get a hold of you about that backup internet? Because I work from home also.
Sure. My email address is aaron.green@northtreehoa.com.
Okay.
Additionally, you can just go on the website, and I believe my email address is on the website as well.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Mark and Donna Liza.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Hey, Donna and I are planning on switching from our AT&T phone service to your phone service. We've been here since '97, and we ended up with 2 phone numbers. One is our house number, and we have a fax line connected to another, which is the next number up from our regular phone number. So it's like 2 phone numbers. My question is that will we just need the one number and we can just leave the fax line plugged in? Does anybody happen to know we would be able to send and receive faxes, just having the one line, or will we need the two different numbers switched over for that? Does anyone have any idea?
That I'm not sure. You know, in relation to your fax setup, I mean, if you have two numbers now, I don't know how you would be able to combine that with one. I don't know if anyone else on the call is better.
Are you looking to do incoming fax or just outgoing?
We receive, and we, you know, sometimes we have to send a fax and sometimes we do receive a fax. Yeah, but I mean, it's not
Is it
that
a
often.
scheduled receive? Like, is this like, hey,
No.
you know, I'll plug in my fax machine, fax me in like the next 2 minutes type thing? Or is this
Not
like
really,
randomly?
Aaron. No, not really. No. Sometimes I'll fax over like an exam, a radiology, continuing education, and they'll fax me back a results and some things like that. But it's nothing scheduled. No.
Gotcha. Yeah, that more or less means you're probably going to need a fax number, you know, dedicated like you have currently. And Melissa, I know some IP phones don't play nice with fax machines. Do you know if your service works with fax machines?
Yeah, as far as I know, you know, I haven't heard otherwise. We do offer, you know, many of our customers do have fax in the user.
Okay.
That's great. I mean, we would be happy if we just like say if somebody called and they couldn't get through, if the 1 to 3 times a year we were sending or receiving a fax or something, they had to call back in 5 minutes. That's fine. I mean, if it's just the one number, or we would also be happy to pay for the 2 lines. It's very inexpensive and we're very much looking forward to switching over as soon as possible. And one other question, my wife and I are wondering, the green box that's out front that we've had for the old company, will that be removed, or does anybody know, will those have to stay there?
Yeah, the Comcast still has every right to be in the neighborhood. They're not going anywhere until they choose to withdraw from this neighborhood. So that also means all of their equipment, that box is some of their equipment, will remain here until until their company decides to remove themselves from this neighborhood.
So that's their choice. Okay, thank you, because ours is like right next to our driveway, and for years we have to make sure we don't hit it, and we were hoping it would somehow disappear.
Wish I had a better answer for you, you know, other than maybe a pickup truck and a piece of chain at 1 o'clock in the morning. But
well, we're looking forward to the new
Just
service.
make sure none of your neighbors are connected to it.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. We're looking forward to the new system and the new service. Thank you.
Let's do.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, Colleen Hathaway.
Yes, to the fellow who has the fax machine. He'll have no problem sending the fax on the one phone number. His problem will be receiving a fax. I believe some of the fax machines can be set to answer on a certain number of rings and what have you, but you're going to have a lot of times the phone will ring and you're going to run over and pick it up and it's somebody trying to send a fax. So you really, particularly if it's a business and you use it a lot, you really should get the 2 phone numbers.
Thank you.
That's for the lady who was worried about a number of Ethernet ports. It sounds like she'll be taken care of if you got 4 ports there, but in any event, she could buy an inexpensive switch or a non-wireless router that has up to 8 ports if you want, and power all kinds of devices. The next question, you say that we're going to have a high definition, but are they 4K boxes or are they just 1080p's?
No, the TiVos are 4K capable.
Okay, great. So the apps that run on there, when Amazon chooses to, or Netflix chooses to run a 4K, it'll come out in 4K then.
That's correct.
Okay, very good. By the way, my wife is Colleen. I'm using her computer. I'm not just transitioning, so it's. I will be
no problem. Any additional questions or comments?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, Bruce Price.
Hey, good evening. I was listening. I was in the car on the way home, so I just wanted to verify if I wanted to bridge. I think I heard I need 2 gateways if I want to bridge. Is that right?
I'm looking into that for you. I am double checking on the Calyx modem that does offer bridge mode, if it is just data or if it will also provide video. But I'm pretty sure it's a little bit kind of over my out of my scope, but I'm pretty sure in speaking with our technical ops manager, he did tell me that I believe the 803 is only data. So then yes, you may have to have 2 gateways.
Yeah, and just for reference, I know of between 4 and 6 homes that'll likely want to be set up that way.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll find out. I'll speak to Julio and see if I can find out some more information on that, Aaron, and provide that to you, and then you can communicate it out.
Will do. And likewise, anyone on the call, or even if you know anyone who's interested in that, email me. Again, it's aaron.green@northtreehoa.com. And I'll go ahead and start a little group between us so that I can share any information on that, just so we're all up to date.
And what was the other thing I heard was what? The earliest upgrades, 4 years for the earliest?
We have a scheduled upgrade in the contract.
But I believe if we, offer, upgraded services, if we move to Wi-Fi 7, I'm not sure if that will come out, beforehand or, up until that 4-year mark. I have to double check that with Heather.
Okay, thanks.
I believe it's Wi-Fi 6 after 4 years.
Yeah, but I think we're going straight to 7 is our.
Yeah, at 4 years, why would you go 6? That's just ridiculous. 6 is.
Yeah, no, I think when we do upgrade, I believe we're going probably straight to Wi-Fi 7.
Right.
Yeah, and the contract reads, whatever current technology being installed is, or something to that effect. So it would be whatever the current standard is for Breezeline. Okay, moving on. Apologies, I don't know who you are. It just says iPhone. If you could just introduce yourself and then ask your question.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Yes, Charles Balsamo. You got me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand you already went through this information, but I'm still not clear. I now have coaxial cable run into my attic, down in the walls to each of the TVs, 4 of them. What additional wiring, intrusive wiring is going to be involved with installation of your breezeway?
So there will be no intrusive wiring. It will just be a thin piece of fiber optic cable that will be coming into your home that's going to connect directly to the back of the new gateway. And
wait a minute. Coming into the home, into the back of the gateway, you're losing me there. Where is that in my home?
Where is your gateway now? Where's your modem?
My modem is in one of the bedrooms.
Okay, it may be in that same location because it has to. So if you want your modem in the same place that it is now, that is where the fiber will connect to.
So they'll bring a wire from outside the house or from the attic down to that existing.
That is
so
correct.
It's going to originate, Charlie, where they screwed that box on the side of your house. It's
right.
Going to originate from there. It's going to make its way to wherever that gateway needs to be located inside your house, right? So you mentioned right now, your existing box is in one of your bedrooms. That's
right.
Probably going to be the easiest thing for you, just to put it right where the existing one is. So they will run a single fiber from that box screwed to the outside through your house to that gateway.
Okay, now it's existing.
For Paul, if you haven't seen fiber, I mean, it is not like the traditional, coax that you have in your house. It is literally, I mean, we use something called Invisifiber, and it's called that because it's clear. I mean, and it's almost invisible, especially if it's going to be up against, a light color wall.
Okay, is it going to go back into my attic and down inside the wall, or is it going to come through the house, through the block, into the room, and then around the other side of the room visible?
That would have to be determined when we come out there to do your installation. We should be able to run it through the attic when we come out and do the layout. I believe Aaron, if he hasn't already, I know Freddie will be in touch with you to, kind of do some walkthroughs, and we'll have a better idea of how the installations will take place.
Yeah, I know he's gone through some of the neighborhood. I haven't spoken to him yet personally, but I know he's spoken with a couple of the other board members. I think the majority of the homes were considered pretty straightforward. He just looked at the ones that maybe were a little bit more tricky to do.
Okay.
So I can't get a direct answer on that right now, correct?
Correct.
Unfortunately, Charlie, without someone coming to your physical house and looking exactly where you want to answer that, that's just not a question possible to answer.
Okay, so I have to call that number and make the appointment to get that answer.
Or you can come to the in-person meeting, either one.
Okay, no answer on that. And the other question is, this is for you, Aaron. The same thing with the last board meeting. I connect on my phone, and all of a sudden, my screen goes black. I have no audio. Then it'll come back on. And when it does come back on, it's at a whisper. I cannot raise the volume.
My apologies. That's Zoom. I don't really know, exactly what's happening to you, but that's, nothing's being done on our side that would affect you in that way.
Okay, because I have to hold this right up to my ear to hear what's going on right now.
Okay, there may be a button somewhere on there that lets you switch it over to speakerphone instead of, a regular telephone, but I don't, unfortunately, without being in front of you, I can't really advise you on that.
Okay, you wouldn't know why I get blacked out though at times, do you?
No, I wouldn't. Again,
Okay.
not without seeing it personally.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. It looks like, apologies, I know it's not actually Colleen, but it's labeled here Colleen had another question.
Just a quick one. I was looking at the notes I wrote down here about the signups, and we have Tuesday, April 12th, Wednesday, April 13th, and Thursday, the 15th. We've lost the 14th.
Oh, should be the 13th, 14th, and 15th, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe that was a typo on our part. No, it's the 12th, 13th, and 14th, if that's.
Yeah, it's just a typo on this slide.
It is a typo. We'll
So
make that correction.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is not the 15th, it's the 14th. So, okay, that's what I thought it was. I just thought I'd double check.
Thank you.
And
Sorry
just to
about that.
reiterate, we will have a sort of pre-sign up sheet for this. It just helps get a lot of the boiler information out of the way. So I'll be sharing that link on Facebook on our northtreehoa.com, and the management company will have that link as well, so they can email you directly if you need. Please allow me until tomorrow morning to get that done.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? I will go ahead and unmute everyone if everyone, or give everyone the option to unmute themselves. But first, before I do that, if anyone else knows how to use the raise your hand functionality and has a question, please do that now. I'll wait about 15, 20 seconds and then just make it a free mic for anyone who doesn't know how to do that. Okay, I do see Joe Driscoll here. Go ahead and unmute you. Ask your question.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. You guys talking about Wi-Fi 6? Do you mean IPv6?
No, Wi-Fi 6 is a new Wi-Fi technology. Most equipment is currently Wi-Fi 5. A lot of newer equipment is Wi-Fi 6.
So
Wi-Fi 6 actually has higher bandwidth speeds and things of that nature.
So like right now, if I'm on my Wi-Fi at home, I'm getting like 800-900 on it. So
if you're getting 800 or 900 over your Wi-Fi, your equipment is probably relatively new.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're most likely already using Wi-Fi 6 equipment, because you'd have to be to get those kind of speeds.
So the new equipment is not going to give that speed to my iPad and my Galaxy phone like I'm getting now?
Correct. Correct.
So it's going to slow it down to what speed, do you know?
I believe it's somewhere in the 300-400. I can look up what Wi-Fi 5 is. But you could, if you wanted to.
Can I buy the better gateway, the better router?
Aaron, I think when we do some of our testing, I mean, we've seen some speeds up to, you know, almost 500-600 on some of the newer devices.
Okay, I could be wrong. You know, as
like,
mentioned, I would need to look up exactly what the cap is on Wi-Fi 5. But the, you know, the point is the same, right? It's not as fast as Wi-Fi 6.
Right.
You can always, Joe, you do always have the option. I don't know if you have a router that you've bought yourself. Like, are you plugged directly? Are you using the Wi-Fi from Comcast, or are you using
Yes.
your own router?
No, the Wi-Fi from Comcast.
Okay.
So right now I'm getting 940 to my telephone.
Via Wi-Fi?
Okay.
Wow,
On the Wi-Fi on my Galaxy cell phone.
that's great.
That's what like I was telling you. I got 1200 in my house. That's my speed on the wired. Okay, that was my only question. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So if anyone else, you know, knows how to use the raise hand and has a question, I'll wait 15-20 seconds and then just allow everyone to unmute themselves for anyone who maybe doesn't know how to do that. Okay, I'll go ahead and just unmute everyone here. It'll ask you, it's not just going to unmute you. So you'll see something pop up saying, you know, feel free to unmute yourself. If you'd like to and you have a question, go ahead.
Aaron, okay, I didn't know if you could hear me. On Wi-Fi 5 versus Wi-Fi 4 and Wi-Fi 6, you know, you're looking, I mean, it's possible he's probably on Wi-Fi 5 is 600 megabits or on Wi-Fi 4. Wi-Fi 5 is about 3.5 gig. Wi-Fi 6 is capable of 9.6. So.
Is it okay? Apologies, then I had my numbers wrong.
Yeah. So if he has Wi-Fi 6, he can do 3.5 gig.
Okay, yeah, and Joe, it sounds like you would then get the, you know, close to the same speed you're seeing now off of your device.
Aaron?
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Aaron, I just would want to make an observation. Earlier you had a resident on, I think his name was Daryl, and he was concerned that after his installation, would he be able to go back to Comcast if he found issues? But I just wanted to chip in at the time, but I didn't because you had the system set up. But the installers are going to hook up all of that equipment, and they're going to make sure that everything is running and working well before they left. So that the idea of turning Comcast off, or disconnecting rather, and hooking up the Breezeline, he should be comforted when they leave that he's going to have the same kind of service that he's got with Comcast. There was not going to be something he has to turn on later and find out it doesn't work.
That is correct, yes. They are going to test everything that they're installing before they leave.
Thank you, Walter.
Same idea of when they broke the lines outside.
Sorry, John and Barbara, were you asking a question?
No, we were just talking to each other.
Okay. If you don't have anything to share with the group, I would suggest you just mute yourself because it is an open mic for anyone here.
What's the price for a second phone line?
It's the same, Bunky. It's $19.99.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
How many lines can you have on that same equipment?
Good question. Well, I would assume that if there's 4 ports, I'd have to find out for you. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't want to assume.
I think there's
we know what happens when that happens.
Yeah, don't assume.
There's 2 phone ports at the back of the modem, so I guess the modem can carry 2 lines, same as it also can carry 4
Ethernet.
Ethernet, and I think there's also a USB.
Well, I would assume that if there's 4 ports, I have to find out for you. I don't know.
Okay, moving along.
The dates have been corrected. It's the 12th, 13th, or 15th, or is it 12th, 13th, and 14th, or?
It's 12th, 13th, and 14th. Renee, you could probably make that change live if you want. So it's clear since we have it up.
On the telephone lines, though,
Yeah,
are they
I mean,
POTS services or is it has to be a VoIP? Or is it POTS?
Oh, I'm sorry. There's some background noise. I'm sorry. What was that question?
So they were asking about the number of lines or whatever. I mean, if you know, really, if it's a POTS line off the gateway, then you can put as many phones really until you run the, you know, the voltage down, which is, you know, you could have 10 telephones on it.
Now, I believe there's only 2 ports, phone line ports on there. So I think you can only run 4, but I will get the answer.
Are they POTS or VoIP? If they're POTS, you can run 10 telephones off of it.
I believe it's VoIP, but I will find out for you.
So then you have to have a special VoIP phone then.
No, we use the regular landlines. You can
Then
use your
that's
existing
POTS.
land.
That's plain old telephone service. So they can plug as many phones as they need to into it.
No, Bruce,
No.
Bruce, it was more about number of lines, not number of telephones connected.
Well, if there's 2 lines, then yeah, if there's 2 ports, then you can have 2 telephone numbers.
Right.
Yes.
Correct. But you can connect 10 telephones to each number.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, you can have phones all over your home if you have the.
Correct. That's correct.
Is
Yeah.
it, I have a question. Is it possible for me to plug my my 6th generation Wi-Fi into the back of your modem and not use your Wi-Fi, but use mine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do I
That's
need
the
a
bridge mode. But part of that is the bridge mode conversation. You don't necessarily need to have bridge mode in order to do what you just asked. But you know, bridge mode has some benefits for people who know what that's for.
Yeah, bridge mode allows you to run your own
Are they going
router.
to be extra charge for that bridge mode for the second piece of equipment in the house?
Melissa's getting info on that. So right now that's kind of a question mark.
Yeah, we might
Okay.
not need the second.
Because
piece.
I think I'm one of the 6 that wants to do it. Me and Bruce and Aaron for sure.
Yeah. So again, I'll you know, anyone who wants more info on that, send me an email and I'll add you to a list. Additionally, I will put that info on the website, but it does get kind of nerdy. So you know, I may put that somewhere so it doesn't bother the people who don't understand what it's for.
Melissa?
Yes.
Right now I've got my modem in, or my router in the office that is hooked via Ethernet to both computers, and I'd like to keep the internet or the Ethernet to both computers, but the router isn't in an ideal spot for Wi-Fi throughout the house. If they come in and do the installation and move the router to a better location, will they also run the Ethernet cables back to my computer, or is that a custom install?
The Ethernet cables, you would need to, you know, depending on how long of an Ethernet that you need in order to run that. So no, that would have to be done. That would be separate and apart.
And would they do that, or don't they even do that? I mean, could they give me a price once they're here?
I don't believe that they will have the Ethernet cable long enough in order to run that, you know, if you move in order for you to hardline it.
Yeah, Daryl, let's connect over the next couple of days. That'll put you ahead of everything you need to know. And, you know, even if you had, there are plenty of outside wiring companies as well that can come in and do the wiring ahead of time for you. So I can kind of advise you as to how I would hook it up and what wires you need and where they need to be. And then even if you just got an outside wiring company to go ahead and pre-wire for that, you'd be ready to go.
Okay, all right, great. Thanks, Aaron.
Melissa, are you going to be present for the any of the 3 days that we had the in the club?
Bunky, I may not be present. However, you will be in great hands with Renee and our coordinator team that will be there on site.
Oh, Renee will be there.
Yes, Renee will be.
Okay, very good. I owe you.
Melissa, can I jump in? I have a question. We're talking about Ethernet connections for a hardwire, you know, from the gateway to the computer. Now, if I understand correctly, you can use your coaxial cable and use an adapter and connect, you know, directly into a computer from any cable connection outlet in your house. Is that correct? It's called it's a MoCA, M-O-C-A adapter. Are you familiar?
I'm familiar. I'm not familiar with how it works. That's definitely above my pay grade. No, as far as it's too technical for me. But I mean, we do use, I mean, the TiVo works off of, you know, a MoCA connection. So I am familiar with the term, how it can connect, you know, your other devices. You know, Aaron, you might be able to answer that. Or like I said, I can follow up. Maybe we can get some of these questions answered by our tech ops teams.
Yeah, that definitely gets into the realm of you should have a computer guy come by and help you get that set up.
Yeah, that wouldn't be, it wouldn't be anything our installers would be able to do for you.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I do see, Carol, you have your hand raised. You are unmuted. Did you have a question or was that an accident?
First, I just want to say that the meeting was very, very informative. So I appreciate it. And also, what tier are we in? Are we getting, like, I understand there's different tiers for what we have. Is it like a tier 1, tier 2 with the different programs?
Are you referring to the TV?
Yes.
So you'll be getting our More TV package, which I guess if you want to talk about it in tiers, it would be, I guess, a tier 2. I don't, so, you know, we have our value service, and then the More TV is, you know, above that. So you'll be getting over 300 channels.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, and I'm not sure what video package you're getting now with Comcast, but I think that, I don't know if you're just getting their basic service, but Aaron, you might.
Yeah, we're getting only their basic channels. I will tell you personally, I'm paying them $130 a month, and that is with a promotion. You know, I'm sure a lot of us have gone through that, where every year you have to call them and ask for another promotion.
Me too.
My math that I've done is, yes, our HOA fees went up. I think they went up about $25. Don't quote me on that. Somewhere in that ballpark to cover what we're getting through Breezeline. But then out of pocket, I think I would spend $50. So for you know, a net total of $75, I'm going to get what's currently costing me $130 with a discount.
Right.
So
I just got the increase too, to 133 because I was paying 87.
yeah, so I'm personally looking at about a $75 a month savings, including what I'm going to buy from Breezeline, which is a telephone and a couple of additional TVs.
Right. A lot of it is the sports channel, I think, that concerns me, like, you know.
Nope, you'll be getting the sports channels with the More TV package.
Okay.
So it will include NFL Network. Sorry, I don't have a lineup in front of me, but you are going to be getting, you know, Turner Classic Movies, the sports channels.
Hallmark, that's all I care about.
You'll have Hallmark.
Hallmark.
Okay, great. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Showtime, movie channel, Cinemax. What do they run a month?
The price of the premium channels is $19.99 per month.
Per channel?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, some feedback on that.
Per channel.
Wow. Was it, no, it's per, is it per like the Showtime family or the Cinemax family?
No, if you subscribe to Showtime, you would get the whole multiplex of Showtime.
The multiplex, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you request a channel? Because I don't think you guys do Speed Vision or the old Speed Vision, Motor Trend.
Motor Trend, I believe we do.
We do Motor Trend, I believe.
I thought
Yes.
I didn't see it. I'll look again.
Okay. But that would be, I believe, an upgraded package. It's I think our HD extra package. But when you call to schedule your installation or come out to the on-site event, they will have channel lineups there for you. They will also be able to answer the questions in regards to additional pricing for optional services.
I have another question. Technical support. Let's say something's wrong with our TV. Something's not coming on. Do you do it remotely? I'm assuming.
Yeah, you can, you'll be able to call our customer care 24/7. They'll be able to, assist either remotely, trying to send a signal to your box, troubleshooting to verify why you're not getting something. Obviously, if we can't fix it over the phone or online, then we will be able to roll a truck. And then part of the agreement is our wire maintenance. So the service call is free.
It's like currently I cannot, and they've tried so much. I can't get channel 95, our community channel.
Yeah, I can't either.
You can't either. Yeah, we just can't get it. So, and they've tried.
Yep. Well, your community channel will be
different.
You will have them, but it will no longer be on 95. It will be on channel 590.
Right. Okay. Yes, I saw that. Thank you again. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, that's okay. Thanks, Carol.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, I'm Jan Houghton-Brink.
Hi, Jan.
What charge for the landline?
Is $19.99 per month plus tax.
Okay, and is there a charge to come into the house to hook up the wires?
No, it'll be a free installation. Free installation is good for up to 1 year. So for those that may not be here now, maybe you're away or you're planning to go away, the installation is free for 1 year.
Oh, okay, good. And do I get to keep my same telephone number on the landline?
Yes, if you are going to subscribe to our phone service, just make sure you let the agent know and that they will go ahead and begin the port process for you.
Oh, because it's important that I keep the same telephone number. So, but someone has said keep the same telephone number. So I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I would suggest, Jan, you come to one of the in-person meetings that they have scheduled. Again, that's on the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th. And, they'd be able to help you get all that set up. And that gives them plenty of time to start that porting process.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. And thank you. This is very informative.
And Jan, just don't disconnect your service before, okay? So we can keep your phone number if you want it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. All right.
Anyone else, any questions? This meeting is for you, so this is your opportunity.
I'd like to personally say thanks very much to Melissa and Renee and yourself, Aaron. Did a great job. I hope everybody's happy. They have all the opportunity to ask questions, and that'll continue. So thanks for a great job.
Yes, I second that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Sorry about the typo.
We all make mistakes.
It was so small, I couldn't see when I was double checking it.
Okay.
And yeah, I'd like to commend Breezeline as well. The only reason I've been so informed is because, they've informed us so well. So thank you as well.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
So if there's no other questions, you go ahead. I know everyone wants to probably get on with their evening, but any questions, feel free to call our customer care team, come out and see us when we're on site. I know that it may be a little scary making this change and switching over, but I assure you we're going to make this as smooth as possible. And, once you make the change and you get used to the new service, I'm assure you that you will all be happy with it.
Thanks, Melissa.
Right.
And thanks,
Thank
Renee.
you.
I appreciate it. Very informative, and I'm sure there'll be more questions, but very much appreciated.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Night.
Have a lovely
Good night.
evening.
You too.
Bye-bye.